I was a patrol. Dig that. I had a little orange belt and everything. That seems kind of messed up, doesn't it? Now that you've gotten to know me here on YouTube. Yeah, but John Chen got to go to training camp to become an officer in the off season, didn't he? Not me. No, because John Chen was liked. John Chen was an Eddie. I'm an outie. I've always been an outie. It's okay. Why, I've even got a herniated belly button. It's not really an outie, but I guess it's threatening to be an outie. My doctor, he's so cruel to me. He loves to taunt me. I'm in there one day. He's like, you have a herniated belly button. I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, nothing. I'm like, screw you. Oh, he enjoys taunting me. One day it was like, you're obese. I get up in this very large man's face. At the time, I was still very large because I was still working. I still had the 20, 30 pounds on me. And I get up in this man's face like an umpire at a Major League Baseball coach. And I gotta look up. He's a big man. But I ain't small myself. And I get up under his nose and look up at him. I go, do I look obese to you? I worked out. He looked up at the chart on the wall. He goes, it's a government chart. And he walks out. I was like, screw you. Why do you do this to me? I hate you. And yet I come back from my primary care for, golly, since Jesus was a child, I guess. Because he knows me. He's my doctor, and he knows me. He knows me intimately as a patient. Don't lie to your doctor. That's stupid. Tell your doctor everything that you can think of, okay? Because they're guessing. If they're a doctor worth their salt, they're going to be the first one to admit to you, it's an art. It's not a science. That's why we call it practicing the medical arts. I got to guess. My best guess. So be honest with your surgeon. There's your piece for the day. Sixth grade, maybe? I don't know. I think that's fair to say it was sixth grade, because I would have been tall enough and old enough. Let's see, what is that? 6 and 5, 11? That's about right. We got to have a football, a soccer tournament league for the year. I think it was sixth grade. Okay, great. I'm the captain of the team, one of the team. How did that happen? I don't know. I didn't ask for it. And they saw my leadership capabilities. I was wise beyond my years. I guess. That's why they wanted me to be an umpire in the baseball game that we had to play on another occasion. I want to play first base. No, they wanted me to be a linesman, an umpire, because, again, they knew for such a young child, I saw the playing field. I could see it level. Or they just didn't like me. I never got to be a striker at football either. I was always a midfielder. A halfback, okay. For those of you that think you know football, I was a halfback. I ran. I served. The strikers, the glorious strikers. Am I bitter about that? No, I'm not bitter. Yeah, so I want to say it's probably sixth grade. Okay. And there's probably a couple of adults that are, at least the PE teacher, Mr. Lamb. Yeah, I think he's got an associate. Okay, whatever. Oh, there's 16s, okay, from the whole class. Okay. Oh, you need a nickname. Oh, you need a nickname for the team captain, which would be me. Oh, so that you can put it up on the chart. It makes it easier to progress. Check the... Tinkerbell. Yeah, that was a multi-pronged spear that I shoved into that adult's chest. One, I showed my contempt for even being there. 2. I tested the only adult in the room, Mr. Lamb, my PE teacher, to see how long his knife was. It's a skill that I've learned from a very early age. Sun Tzu says, know your enemy. Well, with a nose like mine, I had a lot of enemies. Children can be so cruel. So I tested him to see how he would respond. I think he took it as a, little smart ass. I should bitch slap him. Oh, but he was enthused thereafter. He enjoyed calling me Tinkerbell. I think he liked it. And I know I did. Season ended. My team, the Dolphins. I don't know where the hell I got that name from. I don't know. It's kind of irrelevant. The Dolphins were 3 wins and 3 ties. Well, in numerical values, that's 4.5 points. Assuming you're awarded a 0.5 point for a draw, a tie. I couldn't conceptualize that and verbalize all that at the time as a, I don't know, I was a 6th grader maybe, something. But I knew. I said, oh, no. No. There ain't going to be no playoff game here. Somebody cue up the Jim Moore. Playoffs? No. Because you see, the team that's next to us has 3 wins and 3 losses. But we have 3 wins and 3 ties. We didn't lose, so we're better than they are. We shouldn't have to play a playoff. We were awarded the trophy without having to play a playoff game. I'm pretty sure his assistant PE teacher, I'm pretty sure that was him. He probably had the team with 3 wins and 3 losses. I don't want to say now, thinking back, it was 2 guys. It was a PE coach and the assistant PE coach for an elementary school. Why you needed a PE assistant, I don't know. But that's how I remember it to the best of my recollection. And this guy, I'm thinking, probably had the other 3 teams or whatever. We were divvied up into 6 teams, I want to say. And I'd be willing to wager that either it was probably his team that was 3 wins and 3 losses. One of his 3 teams or whatever. I don't imagine he liked that. If I'm remembering the sequence of events correctly. Disclaimer. Because I want to say with all my might, it was after the soccer league was over for the year and the Dolphins were victorious. That we still had PE because the school season was still in. And soccer was still one of the activities. And the last thing I remember is this man, not Mr. Lamb, but the other man, addressing the soccer ball. When I say addressing, I mean to say that the ball has been placed on the ground. And he has been afforded, or for some reason has in effect taken, or has been granted a penalty shot. Okay? For those of you that don't know soccer, that's fine. The penalty shot was point blank range pretty much. For those of you that do know football, it was well within the goalie's box. 12 feet. I'll say 12 feet, dozen feet, 15 feet. I'm a 6th grader defending a net. This is an adult with a placed ball for a penalty kick. How hard and it was, as I recall, it was to the right side of the net. Heavily to the right side of the net. How hard do you think it would have been for that adult to just simply kick that ball to the far post and score a goal against a 6th grader? Certainly worth a shot for an easy goal against a child, right? The last thing I remember is this man addressing the ball, and I had assumed the position of defending the net. And the only thing that I remember after that, because in between him addressing the ball before he kicked it, and me being carried off the field in his arms, the only thing I remember in between is a lot of stars and blackness. Which by default means that he elected not to simply pass the ball by me to the far post. He elected to take the ball and strike it, as a striker would, for my face with all of his might. A grown man and a sixth grader. A grown man who, I can only assume now looking back, had a bone to pick with a sixth grader. You know how when kittens are born, or chicks, I have Carolina wrens out in my shop. They've commandeered my bucket for the last 25 years, my work bucket. It's a lovely nest in there. They keep it sprucey, fruity. They fluff it up for winter to nest in it all winter, and then they leave me clutches in the spring, and I get to watch them hatch. How lucky am I? When these Carolina wrens hatch, these chicks have got like these black skin over their eyes. They can't see nothing. Like a kitten when it's born. But at some point, at a very, very early age, relatively to the animal, their eyes open. And they remain open. That was about the point where I became aware of good and evil. Can I say that as a sixth grader or whatever? The concept of good and evil? No, not really. But I certainly became of fair and unfair. I certainly became of just and unjust. And what was perpetrated, what was done to me that day, was unjust. And it was done, to the best of my beliefs, it was done by a man against a boy. And that man could have just as easily been you. Do you see? When your pride is bruised, your ego is bruised, perhaps you've been bested by what you might feel is an unworthy opponent, an underdog. Well, you don't like that. You want vengeance. Dare I say wrath? So now we have two of the cardinal sins being enjoyed at once: pride and wrath. I'm sure as he carried me off that field, I'm sure of it, he felt badly. I'm a boy. I'm a sixth grader. He felt badly for what he had just done. Maybe if he had a relationship with the God of his understanding, maybe that morning he would have prayed something like, "Hey God," like I do, "it's nice to open my eyes. I'm thinking about you first thing. I love you. You have a good day. I'm going to go get into trouble and you bail me out, okay? Because that's how it works, because you love me. I'm your little Dennis the Menace. Love you." See, if we can remember to pray at the beginning of the day, it makes the prayers at the end of the day often a lot more bland, a lot more vanilla. Right? When you don't start your day off saying, hey, God Daddy, love you. What's up, dude? I call him old man sometimes. He doesn't like that one. I know he doesn't. I've already felt it. And so now I just stick him to the side with it. I'm like, what's up, old man? Let's have another day. You and me. Come on. Hand in hand. Let's do this. I like walking with you. Yeah. He felt bad as he carried that child off the field. And what he really felt bad was he was scared. He didn't care about the possible damage he inflicted on that sixth grader physically, concussing him. I say that right? Screw it. Giving him a concussion. All that man was really worried about as he carried me off the field was his asshole. See how greedy you are? All of you. See how self-absorbed you are? All of you. You're disgusting. You deserve judgment, and yet he holds out mercy. And you disgust me. All of you. How is it that I love you so? How can I love you so? You repulse me with your behavior. And still I love you. No matter what.